That. Just move the cursor. Just, hey, everybody, this is Patrick Henry, and I am glad to be here on the back porch for the Pickin party. Got Jeannie Robertson running the controls. Why don't you move that cursor down and just click somewhere else on there. There. Click down. There. Click. Just click. There you go. All right. So it's been a great week. I gave my first live speech since March. I'll give myself a round of applause. Last night I spoke in Charlotte for the Charlotte EO, which is the entrepreneur organization, which is a wonderful group of very successful people. And we had a socially distanced event in a brewery in the Barrel Room. And we had a lot of fun. And so I hope this is, as Jeannie said, the light at the end of the tunnel, but I hope it's not the train coming towards us. But I think that live events are going to be slowly coming back. So anyhow, so glad you're with us. I want to give a special shout out to my friend Yusuf and Lonnie. They're in South Alabama. I know that they have experienced quite an ordeal with the hurricane, Sally, that came through a couple of weeks ago, and been a lot of rain. We've had some rain up here. Now it's kind of pretty. Only had 5% today. But anyway, I want to play you a song that I wrote called Football Town. A lot of people have been watching college football. We didn't think it would come back. And so, although most of us aren't in the stands, we're still enjoying fall football. So this is about growing up in a football town. It was like religion, Friday nights, cheerleaders cheered with all their might. Shops on Main Street all closed down, living in a football town. Well, a coin toss and they huddled up, kickoff and a cloud of dust. 100 yards of sacred ground, living in a football town. Where the boys fought clean and the boys fought hard, grinding out that extra yard. There was blood and sweat and stripes and stars, marching bands and color guards. People come from miles around, living in a football town. It was all so simple then. Life came down to 1st and 10. The homecoming queen is grown up now, married in a football town. Well, behind the field there's a railroad track. All-stars leave, salesmen come back. They watch their own kids playing now, living in a football town. Where the boys fought clean and the boys fought hard, grinding out that extra yard. There was blood and sweat and stripes and stars, marching bands and color guards. People come from miles around, living in a football town. Green Bay down to Mobile, anywhere there's a home field, where the boys fight clean and the boys fight hard, grinding out that extra yard. There's blood and sweat and stripes and stars, marching bands and color guards. People come from miles around, living in a football town. 100 yards of sacred ground, living in a football town. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello to Longview, Texas. I'm glad you're watching, Marcia. And I'm glad, Tina, yes, somebody is doing something normal. So I'm happy to be here. I want to play you a song. And by the way, I wrote that song, Football Town, with a guy named John Greenenbaum. And it was such an unusual pairing of songwriters. Back when I lived in Nashville, when I was a professional songwriter, meaning I was making hundreds of dollars, we would set songwriting appointments, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And it was always difficult for me to write that way because I write from inspiration. And sometimes the inspiration doesn't come at 10 o'clock. But John and I wrote some songs together, and he was this, he was older than me from Wisconsin, and I'm from Alabama. And we were sitting around one day, and he said, "Do you have any ideas?" And I said, "Yeah." And I started telling him about my hometown of Auburn, Alabama. And I said, "It's a football town." And he started laughing and said, "Man, I grew up in Wisconsin, and I grew up in a football town too." And so we kind of wrote that as a meeting of the minds from different part of the country. So I wrote this next song, and I want to dedicate it to my buddy Mike Frank, who's watching. Mike is a good friend of all of ours and a lot of speakers. He's a booking agent, or as we call it in the speaking business, a bureau, which just means he takes more money than a booking agent. But Mike has always enjoyed this song, and so I'm playing it for him. I wrote this song after watching an episode of Cops. I love Cops. I don't think they're playing it anymore. But it was always a great show for me to watch. And I remember I was watching an episode that was based in Nashville. And so it was an interesting episode because I knew a lot of the places that where they were, and they were on Printer's Alley. And I remember this beautiful female police officer was trying to apprehend a suspect. And the suspect was not willing to be apprehended because he had been drinking, as a lot of people do on Printer's Alley. And so she tried to take him down with a wrist lock, and he went down, but then he started fighting back, and they started rolling around on the ground. And I'm watching this thinking, kind of looks like fun. So I wrote this song called Officer Louise, and I sped around Nashville hoping she would pull me over and give me a ticket. Going 90 miles an hour in a 55 zone. I didn't see it coming. I thought I was alone. Blue light started flashing. I did not know what to do. Then I watched the scene unfold before my eyes, and my review pulled me over to the curb. She got out of the car, 6-shooter on her hip. On her chest she wore a star. Long blonde hair stretched in a ponytail. I thought this was a cop. I wouldn't mind escorting me to jail. Officer Louise, I'm as guilty as can be. Won't even try to plead. Come on, let's go downtown. Better handcuff yourself to me so I don't get out. Cuff me, stuff me, throw away the key. She walked over to my window. I was sitting there a-wishing, even did her the favor of assuming the position. Anticipation written all over my face. She looked at me and said, "Sir, you are a disgrace, but this is your first offense. I'll issue you a warning. Officer, can't we talk about it in the morning? I was hoping for a different verdict, better than this. I can be a little dangerous. I think you better frisk." Officer Louise, I'm as guilty as can be. Won't even try to plead. Come on, let's go downtown. Better handcuff yourself to me so I don't get out. Cuff me, stuff me, throw away the key. Officer Louise, I'm as guilty as can be. Won't even try to plead. Come on, let's go downtown. Better handcuff yourself to me so I don't get out. Cuff me, stuff me, throw away the cuff me, stuff me, get a little rough with me. Cuff me, stuff me, throw away the key. Thank you so much.
There's a lady that says Donna, E-I-C-H-O-R. She said, "I am in Notre Dame country. We love college football too." I didn't know that.
Notre Dame? No, I've never heard of Notre Dame. You mean Nostradamus? Is that Nostradamus? No, we love Notre Dame too. Got a good friend named Pat O'Brien, founder of a group called Making College Count, which is a group that I spoke for early in my career. He is one of the biggest Notre Dame fans I have ever met. And I know Regis Philbin, who recently passed away, was an enormous Notre Dame fan. So we love Notre Dame. But we will still make fun of any other team besides Auburn. So I want to play one more song. And People are asking, who is Patrick? Why is he on Jeannie's page? I'm also on my page, and we're broadcasting to multiple channels. But the main reason I broadcast to Jeannie's channel is because I think she could use the help in her career. She's struggling for fans. Yeah, she has the porch. Speaking of the porch, Jeannie will be on the back porch on Saturday at noon, and we're going to have a great show this weekend. And just so it reminded me, if you could click on banners, please. It's on the right. Leslie, my wife, and I, as a lot of you know, are dancing in a charity fundraiser for Little Pink Houses of Hope. And click on that where it says text. And so today was the filming. Normally it's a live event where it's a big gala and a banquet. And going, no, you're not. Now just click. There you go. So it's normally a live event, and they have dancing, like Dances with the Stars. And it's a great fundraiser for an amazing cause. Little Pink Houses of Hope was founded by a woman named Janine Patton Coble. And she was the 2017 CNN Hero of the Year, and she's right here in Alamance County. And it's become an international organization, and it's not just an organization to support and fight cancer. It's very specific because people will donate beach houses, mountain homes, vacation properties for families who are going through cancer treatment. And it's a time just to spend together, and there are workshops and there are just lots of support. And it's an amazing organization, and it sells out every year. But this year, because of the pandemic, it's going to be virtual. And so Leslie and I have been working on dance routines. I tell you, she needed a lot of help, but I pulled her through. And we did the filming today, and it was a lot of fun. And it's going to air on October the 10th. And I'm going to give you all the information on how to tune in. But it's Little Pink Houses of Hope. And the way you win is by the most donations. And so that's why at the bottom of the screen, you'll see text 71777. If you text that number with your phone and you'd like to give a small amount or a big amount, put in DWTS5. That's Dances with the Stars 5. And you can give. We've had a lot of people who watch this show donate, and we're so appreciative because all the money's going to a great cause. So click back on comments. Yeah.
Make sure they know when they can actually watch it live.
Yeah, on October the 10th, and I'll give more information on that. So I want to play one more song. What song? Oh yeah, I want to play one of my mom's favorite songs. And wrote it a long time ago, and I played it on this show before. And I like to say I wrote it with Larry Gatlin because he heard me play it one time, and he told me, "Hey, you ought to change the last word," and I did. So now I always call it a co-write, unless it becomes a big hit, and then it's all mine. His weathered hands revealed the years of working. Blood, sweat, and tears soaked up by the land. Life to him was without complication. He'd say honest works would make a man a man. Years ago, his daddy pushed the plow before him. With a vision, 40 acres, and a prayer, he carved a life for all determination. It was a way of life we all would come to share. Now I'm standing on sacred ground where my daddy stood before. Joined to a long, long line, who I am because of who they were. I'll uphold my traditions and protect my family name, bound by pride to their legacy. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. Now the rest is up to me. The measure of a man can't be weighed in diamonds. His value can't be balanced out in gold. Only through the loving eyes of his child Can the true worth of his legacy be told? My daddy plowed the earth to give us something better, just the same as his dad before him did. And if I could have one prayer in this world answered, my son will say his daddy did the same for him. Now I'm standing on sacred ground where my daddy stood before. Joined to a long, long line of who I am because of who they were. I'll uphold my traditions and protect my family name, bound by pride to their legacy. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. Now the rest is up to me. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. Now the rest is up to me. Thank you. I love that song. I tell you, it means a lot to me, especially now that I have kids. When I wrote it, I didn't have kids, and I just always assumed that the measure of a man would be measured by his children. Now, thank goodness I have good children. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Yes.
People have asked, how do they buy your CD?
Oh, what a great question. How do you buy my CD? Well, if you go to Amazon.com, I don't have a physical CD, but you can download it. If you put in Patrick Henry Married Man. If you want the physical CD,
That's what they want. They don't want the MP3.
you don't want the MP3. So, by the way, if you want to download it, go to Patrick Henry Married Man at Amazon. Otherwise, you can email Tony@JeannieRobertson.com and we'll get your information and I'll send you one. So that's Patrick Henry Married Man at Amazon. Or for the actual CD, I've got hundreds of them. Great coasters. Email Tony@JeannieRobertson.com and we'll get one to you. So thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you on Saturday at noon for Jeannie Robertson Live from the Back Porch. And we'll see you as long as we can keep doing these. So thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and hit FTB and we're fading to black in broadcast. Up. Oh, no.
And broadcast, I got it.
Yep.
I got it.
Now go one more.
One more.